with me, Lord. I'm going to sing Walk With Us, Lord. It's us, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Walk with us, Lord. Yeah. Walk with us. Walk with us. Everybody standing here, Lord, walk with us. While we can't be silent anymore. Walk with us, Lord. Walk with us. Hold our hand, Lord. Hold our hand. Hold our hand. Hold our hand. While we cry, but we're not silent. While we hurt, but we won't be pushed back. Hold our hand, Lord, hear my cry. Hold my hand.
Yes, Lord. Man.
Reality hides behind tired eyes. Everything taken but essence and soul and faith and perseverance. Enough to make another day. Though cold and wrong, here we are today. Soul catching. Soul catching, light, lines, wires, wise. Now it's time. We are in dire. Ancestors weep, we dance. Whose chance? SHAY. In us is power of circumstance. The rope is in need of security, and coons and capitalists want to emulate royalty, not knowing you exude from within. And where are our leaders? Who are our kin? Who can we trust when we can't no longer trust within? Distracted, distraught, and lacking, caught, look back and learn, understand and earn. The blood and criticism, lack of knowledge, yearning for all this shit to be abolished comes from a place in history, places they no longer teach. You got to research and read, pass it along so we can all learn and see. We all now have technologies that our ancestors would do well to respect. Don't neglect. Crack babies, black on, war on drugs, and lack of mental stability. Homeless, catch a ball and dance for a band. Motherfuckers is stuck on lean and can't read, wondering why they gotta pretend they royalty. 1800s, Tennessee whiskey, miss me with the bullshit. No one missed this, but your people dismissed it. Rewrite for a pro. Creation and its infinite Willie Lynch me syndrome must be Tuskegee, suffering, smelling burnings and dust, lust for dark skin, breasts, and summer southern musk. The disgust, feel the fire, pain, rain, again and again as ships came across the middle passage. 3 months worse than any lashes taken by the sea. Who remembers me? Crack and bleed the fathers that feed. Freedom is mentality. Take the language, the fruit is still in me. Give me chains, the spirit lives in me. The spirit.
Yo, Shackles on my feet, smoke all around, dirt in my face, my blood on the ground. Slave to the trade, trapped in my conscience, escaping away. This ain't nothing but a mind game underground. Railroad slaves on the loose, the chains on the neck symbolizes the noose. Work in the fields under that sun, playing in the escape, waiting till the night comes. Dogs on the hunt, my people on the run. Bullet in the back from a slave on his gun. Lynches on the trees, got us on rage, but they don't care about us, they just throw us in the cage. Lashes on our back, caused by the whip. Masters getting on our nerves, but we can't quit. He can sell my body, but my soul's not for sale. I gotta make it through heaven, cause I'm going through hell. Cause my spirit, I can hear it. I'm right near it. And I'm black and proud, so I'ma give my reparations right now. Spirit, 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 the spirit, spirit, live, and me, and me. The spirit, spirit lives in me. Spirit, 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 the spirit, 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 the spirit, spirit lives in me.
1800s, Tennessee whiskey, miss me, bullshit. No one missed this, but your people missed it. Rewrite for a pro. Creation in its infinite Willie Lynch me syndrome must be Tuskegee, suffering, smelling, burnings and dust, lust for dark skin, breast and summer, southern musk. The disgust, feel the fire, pain, the rain, again and again the ships came, across the middle passage, 3 months worse than any lashes, taken by the sea, who remembers me, crack and bleed, the fathers that be, freedom is mentality, take the language, the fruit is still in me, give me change, the blood and criticism, lack of knowledge, yearning for all this shit to be abolished, comes from a place in history, places they no longer teach. You got to research and read and pass it along so we can all learn to see. We all now have technologies that our ancestors would do well to respect. Don't neglect. Crack babies, black on, war on, drugs, and lack of mental stability. Homeless, catch a ball and dance for a band. Motherfuckers are stuck on lean and can't read, wondering why they gotta pretend they royalty. Light, lines, wires, wise. Now it's time. And we are in dire. And we are in dire. Ancestors weep. We dance. Ancestors weep. We dance. Whose chance? SHAY. In us is power of circumstance. The spirit lives in me. 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 The spirit lives in me.
My dark skin, my dark eyes is not the opposite of humility. My DNA's been equipped with humility since the crack of the first whip in their attempt at killing the black in me. My ancestry, you keep testing me, wanting to see the flex in me. That's the Malcolm X in me. But even my silent protest incite violence. That's the Martin Luther King in me, and the slave songs is still singing.
They don't care about the looting. They don't care.
Unbold, not hateful. Inside, not shameful. Reshared ungratefulness, suspenseless, indirect neglect, homeless.
Slavery never ended, just evolved.
A nation needs change from my sublets. Unchain the mind frame of unclean, insane, deframed. Incest at best, no less than duress, no less than confess. Ungood, not hood, I'm good, I stood, we stand. This land is ours, mine, their land. We built this nation so you can cause a sensation of degradation, constant compartmentalized frames of chained minds, dripped in capital, devoid of actual. The world is dying and we dying with it. This nation is corporate. Our price is rewarded with strife, heartache over heartache.
But we live in a country where we're constantly fighting. What the fuck is freedom? Where the fuck is the land of freedom? I mean, is there a subscription plan?
When they call, I pack the group, cause we got work to do. Heartache over heartache, unafraid, not deframed. Unchained, not afraid. In my lane, I'm insane. To you, cause you won't move. When they call, I pack the group.
Complain? loosen up the system. Go to school, read a book, but only what's in the Common Core depiction. Medicate the non-compliance till they all conform to one complexion. Got convictions? Black men go to church. Jesus will fix it. But even in the house of worship, the devil finds a way to slip in. The design is flawless. The prophets told us in the last day people would be lawless. The claws rip, retreating to vices. Frustrated like this is what life is? This is a crisis.
Still being manipulated, brutally incarcerated, death by human nature, back with no autopsy papers. Someone being the hater, or the dumbest of it all, a piece of paper that the congregation of this world shoved down our throats. All to hold power through material manipulation. Surprise, material segregation. Enough to make your own people hate you. While they laugh in our faces.
Boots on the ground, set your rules, pay your dues. Cause a mama lost her baby, only God can take me. Not just my choices, my voices can shape me. The world will hear it if we make it. Don't just hate it and debate it, be about it and come help change it. I know we will win if we arm with knowledge and we can.
Bloodthirsty, lustful, ignorant, bitch ass nigga. Bloodthirsty, lustful, ignorant, bitch ass nigga. The slugs don't love us.
I choose to be a journalist because I wanted to become the voice of the voiceless in our community. Reading, writing, and research is something that I really admire and do. I love to understand and have the concept of what's happening around in the community that I'm staying in, all around the world, with people, with everything that's going on, with history being made, national treasures, things like that. So I became a journalist to become closer to the heart of the world, honestly. And it's a never-ending job, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I just want to wake up on CP time and spend my weekend in Dubai because I know I deserve that kind of life. But all my life I had to fight for what's right because I know I'm overqualified, but the white person in front of me gets a higher paid opportunity. Or when I wear my hair natural and free, they look at me like I'm crazy. And all my life I had to fight, water myself down because if I say too much, they automatically assume I want to fight. I just want to be me though. They like it better when I silence myself because they know if I speak, I can move mountains. So I stand tall like a tree and break these generational curses so my kids don't deserve that kind of life. I take the time to breathe and pray to the flowers and trees and gain mental clarity. Unblock my throat chakra, speak free, unapologetically me. But all my life I had to fight, victim to the black men that don't want to.
Just 3 generations ago, to be a beautiful dark brown girl raped by the headmaster at age 13 and made to have me, a mixed breed, was the right of the Lord, a decree by God. And still just as much a slave than not because of that one drop. I would have been the children of the plantation's children, both my parents mixed, an abomination on both ends of the stick. I ain't saying anyone had it worse, but don't act like us light-skins ain't been getting burned for not being brown enough to have struggles, and then targeted for not being white enough. With me, everything doubles. Y'all might not like it, but I'ma shed light on the mulattoes because that's who I am. My lack of melanin don't make me subtle or confused. I have the right to be angry too, but I gotta be mad at white and black people. I'm considered both and neither, a team player and a cheater, a victim and a griever, disappointment and pleaser. This is me, a halfling. Everything I say is seen as gaslighting, and I'm fighting to be greater and lesser. I'm a peacemaker and aggressor. I got the blood of slaves and oppressors. Both my grandma's white. Both black granddaddies nowhere in sight. My mixed genes make me stop believing in wrong and right. I can only fight myself. Anything else is selfish in hell in my own shell. Can't tell what my own story is. Told to look at history, so I go to the Emancipation Proclamation when Abraham Lincoln declared the slaves were free on January 1st, 1863. But it was 2 years, 5 months, and 19 days until the last freed slaves would leave the plantation. Can you imagine the sensation? The last slaves. The last ones to liberate their minds just to be stuck in a nation full of hatred and pride and constantly attacked for the shade they have or the shade they lack. Now, I don't like math much, but something to me ain't adding up. Being mixed taught me that when something don't make sense, I gotta keep backing up. Being mixed taught me that our history in the 1800s ain't going far enough. Being mixed taught me to boil down our suffering to the bottom of the pain. Past the 1400s when Columbus came. Past the Bible, past the tribal. Being mixed taught me we are all liable. And the more I go back, the more I believe our history is undeniable. We just don't know. What's the point of me getting up here just to sugarcoat? Titanic ain't the only thing that got me scared to get on big boats. I'm haunted by loops and ropes and whatever got white people to start tripping in the first place. I heard black people were the first race. I heard white people were a mutation. I heard they were considered an abomination and shunned to the Caucasus Mountains. I heard black people were the first slave masters and counting, but there ain't no date on that, so we can't relate to that. We can't debate that. Ain't got nothing to show for our beliefs but books and stories. I wonder how many years it's going to take us to realize we still ain't free. We still under attack. We still trapped, arguing over the different shades we have. Forget a paper bag. I don't want to be white or black. I just want to be me in this time, in this space, in this color, but no race. No first, second, or third place. I've been finding comfort in the yin-yang, black and white. I can't get away from the balance of gray or I'll lose sight of my vision. I'll lose sight of my hope.